don't actually want love. You just want to be picked by the dangerous option. When it comes to finding your partner, have you ever noticed yourself continuously picking the person that excites you, but that is actually the most emotionally unavailable? Maybe this person is unable to meet you at your depth, and so you put on this performance that makes them feel safe. This is actually way more common than you think, so don't worry, it's not just you. In this video, I'm going to explain to you why we gravitate towards emotionally unavailable partners and how we can get out of this pattern so that we can find real love with someone that is actually our soulmate and that can meet us at the depths of which we are able to go to. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your comments and your likes and for subscribing to the channel. I love having conversations with you guys, and you don't understand how much it actually helps the channel when you do engage and leave comments. So if you do get any value out of this video, then please do leave a comment because it really does help the channel. So recently I was listening to this book on Audible, and it's called A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson, and you might have heard of her already. She wrote this book as a reflection to things that she had learned from reading A Course in Miracles. And if you don't know what A Course in Miracles is, it is another spiritual book. And so I really recommend both of these books. They're really interesting. In Marianne Williamson's A Return to Love, she speaks about how we tend to gravitate towards partners that are actually more dangerous for us. And the reason why we do this is because our ego is excited by this danger. So we actually perceive this person to be the one that we are meant to be going for. And the people that make us feel safe tend to have the opposite effect. We feel more peace around them, those dopamine hits that we get from people that are potentially more dangerous or emotionally unavailable. It can feel like we're playing a game to win their attraction, and when we do, it sends a whole host of chemical rushes through our body, and that can become very addictive. We can't sleep, we can't eat, we can't focus, and we actually become very unconscious because of the effect that we allow them to have on us. And even though this can be very self-destructive, we actually end up chasing that feeling. So in A Course of Miracles, it says that our mind is either working for the ego or working for the divine. And if you want, you can think about the divine as the blue sky. That blue sky is always there. The ego, on the other hand, is like a cloud-producing machine. It's producing fear and it's clouding and fogging up that blue sky so that we're not actually able to access that inner guidance, that divine intuition. When we are in these dynamics with people that we are feeling really attracted to, our intuition might be telling us that there are red flags, but our ego comes in and starts to cloud our judgment and cloud our inner guidance. And what is happening is the ego is actually feeding off of this other person. And this is why I say that it's not actually love that you want. It's to be picked and to be validated by that person, because the ego is feeding off of that validation. The ego may want to be picked by this person because of the meaning that it is giving to being picked by them. Maybe this person is physically attractive to our ego, so it gives us a sense of validation that we are worthy because we have a partner that is physically attractive to us. And this pull can be so strong that we end up choosing to ignore our intuition and allowing our ego to pull us into the direction of this person, even though our intuition is giving us signals that there is red flags all over what is going on. Does this sound familiar? I just want to let you know that I'm currently giving away a free gift. If, like me, you are always looking for brand new guided meditations, then this gift is perfect for you. This meditation, I believe, is the foundation for any spiritual work. It is perfect for helping you to relax into your body, build a relationship with your body and become aware of anything that is blocking you from reaching your divine potential and hearing those intuitive messages that you get from your divine guidance. So if that sounds like something that you would love to eat up and listen to, then click the link in the description box so that you can get access to this MP3 whilst it is still available for free. So there could be a whole host of reasons that our ego is blocking us from our intuition. It could be fear that we are not worthy enough to actually get the partner that our soul knows it can get and wants to get. It might be doubt that that person is not out there, so we end up settling for someone that is not even able to meet us emotionally. It could be that the ego is enjoying the validation that it is getting from this person. Maybe the other person is pedestaling you, meaning that they are giving you lots of compliments. They are feeding your ego by telling you that you're amazing or that you are special. And there's this saying that people that are so thirsty will literally drink the dirtiest water. And I butchered that whole thing. I don't know what the actual saying is, but you may have heard it. And it's the same when it comes to relationships. If we are starved from real connection, and by the way, the actual connection that we are starved from is the connection with the divine, then we will look for it outside of us. And when that comes to us in the form of validation or compliments or someone telling us that we are special or amazing, then our ego can very quickly get addicted to that type of interaction. But you see, this comes from an unhealed place because the spirit does not need validation. The spirit is already whole. The spirit already knows that it is love, and so it doesn't need another person to validate us, to make us feel good about ourselves. Let me give you an example, okay? So let's say there's a lady named Jane and she goes on a dating app. And while she's on this dating app, she matches with a guy and his name is Jack. And she starts having conversations with him, and Jack is giving her all of these compliments, and he says things to her like, wow, Jane, you are so special. There are no other girls like you on this app. And she perceives that they have a really strong connection. And so this is firing all sorts of chemicals in her body. She's getting these massive dopamine hits, and she's really excited by this connection that she has with Jack. And so as time goes on, they get each other's numbers and they start to talk more frequently. And what Jane notices is that when she is having conversations with Jack, when she is asking him questions, he's not actually answering the questions. And Jane is a very deep person, so she's asking questions in a way that is trying to get to know him on a deeper level. But he's not actually answering the questions. Every time she asks him a question about himself, he deflects it by either making a joke, or he turns the question back around on her, or he just completely ignores the question. And so Jane's inner guidance is noticing that something is off. Her intuition is telling her that this is a red flag, and her intuition also wants to meet someone at a deeper level. And when Jane notices this red flag with her intuition, quickly her ego comes and clouds her judgment and starts to have thoughts like, oh, but he's so attractive, I'm really sexually attracted to him, so maybe we should just give him another chance and just see how it goes. And now Jane actually tells him how she feels. After telling him how she feels about this, Jack actually deflects this again, and he tells her that actually she wasn't listening to his questions. And now, ignoring her intuition, she actually apologizes to Jack and takes responsibility for everything. She wants everything to just go back to how it was, where they felt like they had a really good connection. And her ego is scared to break the connection with him because she had such a rush of positive and exciting feelings speaking to him that it's too difficult for her to cut that off. And now she gets another dopamine hit because she's so happy that they are back on track. So what is actually happening here is that Jane's intuition is constantly telling her that she is experiencing these red flags with Jack. But her mind is so in service to her ego, and she's so unconscious of this, that she continues the relationship with him, even though there are these red flags that are telling her that this is not an emotionally available person. She might even say to her friends, why do I keep attracting all of these emotionally unavailable men? But the real question actually is, why do I keep choosing these unavailable men. You see, Jane is so unaware of these patterns and she has no idea that she is actually allowing this. If this sounds familiar to you, you probably want to know, how do I get out of this pattern? How do I notice this within myself so that I can find a better soulmate, as someone that actually loves me and someone that I can feel safe with? Well, the first step is that you need to learn to feel everything that is going on inside your body. And the way that you can do this is by practicing emotional vipassana, which is a meditation technique where you feel into your body. And this is something that you can start practicing every day, whether that is for a couple minutes a day, throughout the day, maybe a couple times a day, just tuning in with your body, really feeling all of the sensations that you feel coming through in your body and just noticing how they feel. This is the first step to becoming self-aware of what is going on in your internal system. Your emotions are one of your biggest teachers because they are going to tell you when you are out of alignment with the divine part of you, that part of you that is connected to your intuition, that blue sky that I was talking about earlier. As soon as you come out of alignment with that part of you, or your mind is serving the ego, you will feel negative emotions. So think of these negative emotions like warning signals. It's a message to say, okay, we are thinking thoughts that are out of alignment with our higher self, our higher mind, or the divine source, whatever you want to call it, intuition. And when we are feeling peace and when we are feeling joy, it's because we are in alignment with the divine. Step 2 is you're going to question your feelings, and this is something that you also want to practice. When you notice a strong feeling come up, start to get into the habit of tuning into your body, wherever that feeling is in your body, and literally ask it questions. You are going to ask this part of you questions with the intention of understanding it. You want to get to the root of it. So you can ask it questions like, why am I feeling like this? And then you can use your intuition to continue to ask it questions and to figure out where this feeling is coming from. Notice what thoughts are connected to this feeling and really just start to uncover the truth of how you're feeling. When we connect to this divine part of ourselves, we no longer feel the need to look for love outside of ourselves, because this divine part is actually made of love. That's the source of which we come from. Now, this doesn't mean that we're not going to have loving human connections. It actually means that our human connections are going to be even more loving because we are coming to them from a place of love, whereas the ego is coming to relationships from a place of separation. It's like, oh, what can I get from this person to make me feel validated or to make me feel better? And so it's not actually a pure and loving interaction. My biggest tip would be to practice meditation. Really get to know your inner world, because going into your inner world is going to help you with self-awareness. And what we really want to do to attract the person that is meant for us is to become aware of what we actually want, what our soul wants, and then put boundaries up so that we are not accepting any less. So before we come to the end of this video, I just want to share with you a prayer. And this prayer is from Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love. And this is specifically for when we get into these situations. Okay, where we're attracted to someone, it's very easy for us to become unconscious. So whenever you feel like this could be happening to you, just say this prayer and allow the divine to really support you along your journey. So, dear God, you and I know that I have more potential for neurosis in this area more than any other. Please take my attraction, my thoughts and feelings about this person and use them for your purposes. Let this relationship unfold according to your will. And so it is. Amen. However you like to sign off your prayers. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you did get any value from this video, please do leave a comment, like or subscribe, because it really does help the channel. And yes, so I will see you in the next video. Peace, namaste, have a beautiful day.